I recently went through a SAT Securities Appellate Tribunal order of Reliance, in which Reliance was levied a penalty of 25 crores by SEBI for violation of Regulation 11(1) of SAST Regulation 1997. SAST stands for Substantial Acquisition of Shares and Takeovers Regulation 1997. Regulation 11(1) talks about making an open offer if there is an acquisition of share of target company of more than 15% or 5% of shares or voting rights have been acquired in a financial year. So open offer is made so that because there is a change in the shareholding pattern, so the existing shareholders can get an exit option at a particular share price. Now let's come to the facts of the case. In this case, Reliance had issued non-convertible secured redeemable debentures in the year 1994 along with attachable warrants which were worth over 300 crores. The attachable warrants had an option of being converted into equity shares within a period of 6 years. Then what happened was Reliance made a disclosure in the year 2000 of change in the shareholding pattern of all the persons acting in concert, and nothing happened for about 2 years. After 2 years, in the year 2002, there was some complaint received by SEBI, and SEBI launched into an investigation. And finally, in the year 2011, a show cause notice was issued by SEBI. Now there was a process of adjudication that was started, and finally in the year 2021, the adjudicating officer of SEBI passed the order and he levied penalty of 25 crores on Reliance. Reliance came to Securities Appellate Tribunal in appeal. So the facts of the case, as I just said, are that in the year 1994, Reliance had issued NCDs and warrants, but there was no SAST regulation in the year 1994. The SAST regulation came into effect in the year 1997. So this fact is very important. The sequence of events is very, very crucial here. That is what the counsel pointed out. The counsel who was arguing the case very beautifully laid emphasis on all these points and very systematically argued the case. And what happened was, at that time, the issue was that whether the open offer had to be made at the time of issuance of the NCDs and warrants or at the time of conversion of the warrant into shares. So the SAT finally held that the open offer had to be made in the year 19, if at all, had to be made in the year 1994 when the NCDs or warrants were issued and not at the time of conversion. The SAST regulation cannot have a retrospective effect. Yeah, and it must be noted that in the year 1994, the Companies Act 1956 was applicable if at all any laws were applicable in this situation, and there was no such concept of making an open offer in the Companies Act. The concept of making an open offer came into play after the SAST regulation. So all these points were argued by the arguing counsel, and it was very meticulous and systematic dates and events and the facts laid out by the counsel. So the lesson learned was the facts of the case are so important, that when the event took place, what happened, what is the sequence of event, in which year, say in 1994 this happened, 1997 this happened, in the year 2000 this happened. So if the sequence of events and facts of the case are known, and it can very strongly help the case. So this is a lesson that I learned. I hope you learn this lesson as well.